Hey there, welcome. It's Jen with The Bold Thing, and this is episode 3 of an Instagram series called Coaching Misunderstood. What coaching is/isn't. If you would like to catch the intro to learn a little bit more about why I'm doing this, that is under the IGTV tab, as is the episode that was recorded last week. So this is the first What Coaching Isn't video. And what coaching isn't, what we're going to cover today is coaching isn't therapy. A lot of people get very confused as to what the difference is between these fields and when you should use which. And so coaching is really about a lot of education because it's a new field. So as I alluded to in last week's video, I was sharing about how coaching is a tool to close the gap. And so coaching occurs more in the gap space, whereas therapy would more be behind that. So as always, this is my perspective based on how I've been trained, based on how I use the tools, based on how I invite clients to use the tools. So just know that as always. But in coaching, we are trained to relate to our clients as whole, healthy, complete beings. Not broken, not anything wrong, whole and healthy and complete. And sometimes in order to experience ourselves as whole and healthy and complete, we need to have some healing work. We need to do some work on the things that have happened back there. So traditionally, that's where the field of therapy would come in. And, I think it's important to talk about this because therapy is an older field than coaching is, but you can still see when you look around, there are those people still who think that therapy means there's something wrong with you. There's a negative connotation, and it's my stand that in an ideal world, everyone would actually have a coach and everyone would actually have a therapist, at least at some point in their life, because there is a time and place for both, for anyone really that has a pulse. So, a lot of times I'll see people who have gone into therapy and maybe they're still there because they don't know where else to go, or maybe they still need it. So when I'm working with a client, I'm going to use an example of someone who's actually receiving coaching and therapy because it might be a little bit easier to understand. So if I'm working with somebody and we are creating a project they're working on, it could be anything. It could be more authentic. It could be better sex. It could be more money. It could be standing in your power. Coaching is to create whatever people want. If I notice some stuff behind my client keep showing up, and the coaching conversation is not shifting it, that's when I'm going to say, hey, this is something I want you to bring to your therapist, and I want you to work on it in a past-based conversation, because that's where therapy tends to live. So I can always tell when it's a pretty great therapist, because they're going to know how to work with that client, and I'm going to stay in the present, and I'm going to stay in the future. So we could be working on the exact same thing, but my client's going to go to their therapist and they're going to work behind them on that. And then we're going to stay working on the same issue in the present and the future. So I think another way to maybe explain it is I receive therapy and coaching, but I don't need therapy all the time. When I'm working with my coach, and again, we keep hitting it, we're not getting around it, I call my therapist and I say, hey, so-and-so, I need to have however many sessions I need to have so we can do that behind the scenes work in the past and help me to heal around that. So that's a little bit of the differences, and I think a few other things that are important to share is, therapy is really going to be digging into why is this happening? Why did it become this way? And coaching tends to say, hey, you can do that with your therapist, we're not going to spend our time trying to figure out why. We're going to spend our time in the present and in the future so you can create something new for yourself. We don't want to keep repeating it, so we create something new. I want to keep these videos at about 5 minutes so they're digestible and they fit. So let me just do a quick check-in and see if there is anything else to share. Yes, I think one more thing would be, if you are in therapy or a friend or someone else who is, and they have done a lot of the healing work and they really want to start creating what's next. What's the plan? How do I get there without spinning myself out? How do I meet my goal with becoming more authentically myself in the process? That's not something people are going to want to keep using the tool of therapy for. For present and future life, business, career, whatever creation, coaching is a much better tool. So again, the intention is to really let you understand what each tool is used for and when. Because if you imagine someone's building their dream house, if you use the same tool for every single thing for building, it's not going to work, right? And so we're kind of the same when it comes to caring for ourselves. A lot of us don't know a lot of the tools that are out there. We don't know what they're for. What may work for me might not work for you. And if I'm honest, when you start looking at all of the different transformational tools, it's kind of overwhelming. And, it really needs to be tried out ourselves. And I think another thing to say is it really depends on the practitioner. As we all know, you can line up 25 therapists and 25 coaches, and their ways of serving you may all look vastly different. So again, if this particular episode brought up any more questions for you, shoot me a DM and I'll create another one to answer it. The intention here is to provide more education about coaching because most people don't really understand what it's about. Many people haven't had the awesome opportunity to try it, and it's probably, if not the most amazing thing I've ever done for me, it's up there in the top 3. I truly don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for taking the leap one day and getting a coach 6.5 years ago. I hope you have a great day, and I'm open for any questions, comments, feedback. Lots of love, y'all.